Oh dear, not another sex scandal. A leading Tory MP, William Wragg, has told the Times newspaper that he gave personal phone numbers of fellow MPs to a man he met on a dating app because he feared being blackmailed if he didn't fulfil their demands. Wragg's public apology has been described by some as brave. What's brave about dishing out the phone numbers of members of Parliament, which is a clear political and national security threat, and handing those numbers to a complete stranger? And what's he doing, glued to his phone, looking for a date on Grindr? Well, when they said he bends over backwards for his constituents, we now know exactly what that means. Anyway, I've received a message from Wragg himself. Let's take a look. God, blimey, how is that even possible? He should be in the Olympics. Now, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the man tipped to be the next James Bond, is in trouble with the council over his plans to rewild his property with native plants. The local authority have said, Dr. No. But this guy is more green-fingered than gold-finger, but he's made a thunder balls up of this one. He's been working on Her Majesty's secret flower bed. He's the man with the golden hosepipe. Daffodils are forever.
Brilliant.
For your hyacinth only, Pat Sharp, like that one. When there are too many leaves on the ground, he gets his moon raker out, weed and let die. Now, ultimately, I think that this Aaron guy has proved himself perfect for the role of the famous ladies' man James Bond. After all, his favourite hobby is fertilising young flowers. Everyone is a victim these days, aren't they? Your mental health, your economic status, your position on the housing ladder, your race, your gender, your class. Forget about cricket, rugby or football. Britain could easily win the World Cup of moaning. Now, if everyone's got a grievance, particularly young people, well, the bottom line is we don't realise how lucky we are. And young people in particular have got more than any generation in history. Smartphones, the internet, the Kit Kat Chunky. Us oldies had to do with inserting 4 slim fingers in us, didn't we, Pat Sharp? No fun in that at all, let me tell you. Air-conditioned cars, all the music in the world, from a device in your pocket, the McFlurry. Young people have got everything, but they can barely get out of bed because they're so depressed. Well, now the latest group to join the cult of victimhood are hardened criminals. In the good old days, muggers and murderers created victims. Now, they're the ones that we've got to feel sorry for. Courts have issued guidance to the judge and all the rest of it to give shorter sentences to criminals from deprived or difficult backgrounds. This could include poverty, lower educational attainment, experience of discrimination and insecure housing. Wait a minute, doesn't that describe most people in this country these days? Schools are terrible, we're all skint, and even poor old Prince Andrew is struggling to get on the housing ladder. Well, the next time a burglar breaks into your home, rather than calling the cops or reaching for the nearest ornament you can find to bash over his head, you've got to give him a hug, make him a cup of tea and listen to his life story before sending him on his merry way with your flat-screen telly and the watch you bought with your Holy Communion money. Who knew that bad people who damage lives, who mentally and physically scar innocent members of the public, are in fact the ones who need sympathy and a more forgiving punishment? All because their dad didn't let them stay up for Match of the Day, their mum used to burn the fish fingers, or they didn't have a soda stream. The woke Taliban, who dominate the leadership of our public institutions, call this misguided empathy progress. Well, I call it downright criminal.